When Jim Ryan makes a batch of wine in his shop, he's not just turning grapes into wine, he's stirring up a part of Windsor's history. Beginning in the late 1800s until the beginning of World War II, his great-great-grandfather, Jules Robinette, was the winemaker in Sandwich.
He was producing 25,000 gallons of wine a year. He was selling grapes to Winnipeg, Quebec, in excess of 355 tons.
Robinette not only survived, but thrived through the Great Depression and an era of prohibition when alcohol was all but banned.
He managed to still find a way to be able to sell wine to people like a retailer. And back then, that was during Prohibition, that was a very difficult thing to do, and obviously you had to find the loopholes to be able to continue, for him to be able to continue running his business.
Robinette built a mini wine empire. This area around Felix and Mill was once his vineyard. And this building here at the corner of Sandwich and Mill was his winery. Little remains to tell the story of one of Windsor's premier winemakers, and that's because Robinette's winemaking days ended suddenly. In November 1939, provincial police confiscated 3,000 gallons of wine made illegally in his basement, essentially ending Robinette's involvement in the business of booze. But 70 years later, his great-great-grandson picked up where he left off.
I started opening up a winemaking company, and I noticed that my family is almost driven to support me because they connect this with all of the family history.
But unlike his ancestors, Ryan doesn't actually make the wine. He helps you make it.
I'll walk them through the whole process. And then when we bottle it, they get to fill it with the bottle filling machine and cork their wine and everything like that, and pick their shrink caps and their labels, and they can really dress it up and take some wine home that when they crack open a bottle of wine for supper, they've got a really nice looking, obviously great tasting bottle of wine to have.
With just a dash of history. Christina Howard, A News.